Dan always said his mother made him one promise before she died. "If there is anything after this, I'll find a way to let you know." Mary Fong died. A week passed, then a month. Nothing. Eventually, Dan stopped waiting. What Dan did not know was that his mother had contacted him. Her message had crossed from home to Earth successfully. It had arrived in his email account exactly as intended. There was only one problem. Earth had classified his dead mother as spam. And several realms away, Mary was wondering why her son hadn't answered. 24 hours earlier, Mary Fong was peacefully drawing her last breath. Now Mary sat beside Charlie, who drove slowly along a winding road toward Villa Florentina with her housing assignment in her lap. She had been dead for less than a day. It had been a rather eventful day. There had been the queue, the new eye scanner, a very unhappy banker, and, much to Mary's surprise, the announcement that she had been assigned a villa. She had spent 35 years teaching third grade. She had never imagined that an ordinary life like hers qualified anybody for a villa in the afterlife. Apparently, home disagreed. The golf cart rounded a bend. Mary stopped thinking about housing. The land opened before her. Rolling grass stretched toward distant hills. Trees stood in enormous patches of open ground. Flowers grew along the road. Farther away, pale buildings caught the light. Mary turned her head slowly as they drove. "It's beautiful." Charlie smiled, his broad-brimmed hat shading his face. "Yes, ma'am." They continued. Mary watched the landscape. A woman was walking beneath a row of trees. Farther away, two men sat talking beside a pond. A small group crossed a meadow. Then there was open land again. A great deal of open land. Mary frowned. "Charlie, how many people live here?" Charlie thought for a moment. "A lot." Mary looked around again. There were certainly people, but not remotely as many as there ought to be. "Where are they?" "Who, ma'am?" "Everybody." Charlie glanced at her. Mary gestured toward the landscape. "People have been dying for thousands of years." "Yes, ma'am." "Millions and millions of people." "Billions," Charlie said. Mary looked toward another enormous stretch of grass. "Then how come this place isn't full to the brim?" Charlie nodded. It was apparently a reasonable question. "They don't all stay." Mary turned toward him. "Where do they go?" "Back." "Back where?" "Earth." Mary stared at him. Charlie kept one hand comfortably on the steering wheel. "You mean people go back to Earth?" "Yes, ma'am." Mary's eyebrows rose. "You mean reincarnation?" "Yes, ma'am." Mary sat back. For several seconds, only the soft hum of the golf cart moved through the silence. "That isn't what I was taught." "My pastor said we have one life to live. Then we die, and we live in the hands of God forever." "Yes, ma'am." "But you're telling me people come here and then go back." Charlie shrugged. "They get bored." Mary stared at him. "Bored? In heaven?" "It takes a while." Mary looked around at the flowers, the beautiful houses, the distant hills, and the extraordinary amount of available grass. "How long?" "Depends." "And then?" "They start thinking about going back." "To Earth?" "Yes." Mary considered this. "So what my pastor told us wasn't true?" Charlie shook his head. "I wouldn't say that, ma'am." "But he said we only have one life." "That was his understanding." "He was very certain." People can be very certain about their understanding. Mary gave Charlie a sideways look. Charlie kept driving. "He wasn't lying to you," he said. He was telling you what he believed from the information available to him. Mary was quiet again. Then something occurred to her. But people have been dying for thousands of years. And they're arriving here. And now you're telling me some of them go back? Then why hasn't anybody told us? Charlie glanced at her. Some have tried. Mary turned fully toward him. What do you mean, tried? People have written home. The golf cart continued another few yards before Mary spoke again. You can write to Earth from here? To people who are still alive? Yes, ma'am. Mary's hand went immediately to the little bag in her lap. Mary was suddenly sitting much straighter. My son. Charlie waited. My son is still on Earth. I promised him. If there is anything after this, she said quietly, I told him I would find a way to let him know. Charlie smiled. You can keep your promise. Mary's face changed. For the first time since arriving home, Villa Florentina disappeared from her attention completely. How? Email. Mary stared at him. Heaven has email? Charlie considered the terminology. We do now. Some years ago, an R-Pro-Net executive arrived. Mary's mouth opened slightly. He tinkered with the system. It has been operational ever since. Mary almost laughed. Then she remembered Dan. How do I send one? You'll need his email address. I know where he lives. I know his street, I know the building, I know his telephone number. Email requires an email address, Charlie said. Mary stared ahead. I don't think I've ever emailed my son. That happens quite often. Can you look it up? We can try. Can I send him a normal letter? No, ma'am. Why not? No physical mail from home to Earth, but email works. Information can cross. Mary absorbed that. All right, where do I go? Administrative building. Can you take me? Certainly. Call me tomorrow after lunch. I will take you over. Now let me drop you off at your apartment first. Mary frowned. How do I call you tomorrow when you're not here? Telepathy, Charlie said. Mary looked at Charlie as if death had become unnecessarily complicated again. You don't have smartphones? No, ma'am. How am I supposed to know how to do telepathy? Please, close your eyes. Mary closed her eyes. Think of me, Charlie said. Mary did. Then speak as though you're talking to me. Mary concentrated. Charlie, this is Mary Fong. Can you pick me up tomorrow after lunch? Charlie continued steering. Yes, ma'am. You are coming in loud and clear. Mary's eyes flew open. You heard that? Yes. Mary stared at Charlie. Then she smiled. I could get used to this. You probably will. So tomorrow I just think your name and tell you what I need? Yes. Mary nodded, satisfied. The golf cart rounded another bend. Ahead, among trees and flowers, Villa Florentina came into view. Mary looked at it. It was beautiful. But now she was thinking about something else entirely. Somewhere on Earth, her son believed his mother was gone. Tomorrow, Mary Fong intended to correct that misunderstanding.